I'm Shahji reporting in Waco, and at China Spring High School, the Lady Cougar soccer team are on an all-time run. I'm Shahji reporting in your neighborhood of Waco. Referees are a big part of all sports, and I'll tell you how that aspect of the game is affecting Central Texas. Well, whatever path you take to achieve your resolution, always remember to follow through and finish. Reporting in Waco, I'm Shahji Adam. Obviously, with the weather, it's going to be a factor tonight, hence why I took my glasses off so I can't really see. But hopefully we can see who is going to AT&T Stadium for the state championship. That's all tonight at 10. It is a big fight feel here at AT&T Stadium. If you can see, the sun is really out tonight because they have opened the roof. That's kind of a rare thing for the Cowboys to do. But, I mean, you got to pick a game. It's going to be today, right? I mean, we all know why everybody had this game circled on their calendar. The return of Micah Parsons as he is going to take on his former team. So let me see if I have this right. The Bears have won a game via a walk-off field goal, have lost a game with a walk-off field goal, now win a game blocking a walk-off field goal. Well, the Bears get a much-needed bye week before they head on the road to take on TCU on October 18th. They're going to recover it and take it all the way to get the touchdown. That showed it. But let's slow it down. Let's go super slow motion. Sorry, I don't know why I did that. The event itself runs through Sunday, and I got to say, after being here only one day, I think I found a new interest. Yes! It's a disappointing end to the season, but I think there's a lot to look forward to for Baylor next season. You've extended Dave Aranda. They did really well in the transfer portal. You got a lot of good young talent that's going to happen. Now, I know this is LSU's night. They're all really excited, but who knows what's going to happen next year for the Baylor Bears. We'll see what happens. Whoop, whoop. And then another spin right there. It's so good. See it twice.
Spin cycle.
Just like those two. It must have been laundry day out there because we saw a spin cycle. Look at that. I'm Shahji Adam reporting in your neighborhood of Waco. I am here at McLean Stadium where before the Baylor Bears hit the field every game, we get to see the new Bears try and take it to the house on their own.
A tradition like no other. Here comes the Baylor line.
It's one of the most eye-catching traditions in college football. Hundreds of Baylor freshmen every home game rush from one end of the field to the other, and it's been part of Bears football for over 5 decades.
The Baylor line was founded back in the 70s, and since then it has grown now to include over 3,000 incoming students. So every new student who comes to Baylor is part of the Baylor line. And then one of the coolest parts is they fill in the first 13 rows behind the opponent's bench.
Covering Baylor football all last year, I got to see how rowdy the fans get. So I went down to McLean Stadium and had to see what it's like being on the other side of the Baylor line.
So many people. That was actually really fun.
My first thought was, I am going to win this thing, and then as soon as they moved out of my way, I took off running. I didn't look back. I didn't want to look back. I just knew I was going till I was finished. And I did end up winning it, actually. Just energetic and passion between everyone that is there. It's just all connected as one.
With orientation for the incoming freshman class now finished, they will now get to run during the games, and taking part in this tradition brings out more of that community experience.
You're going to feel your heartbeat in your chest. The ground is going to be shaking, and it's going to be so much power, so much energy. It's going to be nothing like anything you've experienced.
There's only 6 times you get to do it, and then you get to do it 1 time before you graduate as a senior. Your last run, you get to run as a senior, and it's just, I mean, every time the seniors run, they're crying, they're in a blink of an eye, your experience at Baylor will be over. So cherish it, love it, and take it in for all it's worth.
We'll be able to see these freshmen have their first line run at Baylor's first game of the season on August 31st against Tarleton State here at McLean Stadium. Reporting in Waco, I'm Shahji Adam. I'm Shahji Adam reporting in Waco. Baylor basketball is currently the most talked about program in the nation, as the question on everyone's mind is, will Scott Drew leave Baylor for Kentucky?
There have been several reports regarding the Scott Drew situation, but one thing is for certain: Scott Drew is the leading candidate for the Kentucky basketball head coach position. If you've been on social media, you'll see people have been tracking flights between Waco and Lexington. Scott Drew himself seemed to confirm his location in a little tongue-in-cheek post by showing off that he was at a local restaurant, and that resulted in Kentucky and Baylor fans calling in the hundreds to see if Drew was in fact there. I went down to the restaurant Mi Casita to find out how hectic it really got.
I'll actually look into all the reviews that we get. If we get 1 or 2 reviews, I'll look at it and try to reply to all of them. I got 40 plus reviews or comments within 10 minutes. So I thought, something had happened. So I called to ask, and that's whenever the person that was here in the morning talked to me about it. The oldest one was saying that how long is he going to be here? If he ordered a dish that was going to be, that was going to delay him a little so they can make it here and talk to him in person. And we were like, I don't know, we're really fast here, so I don't know. We don't know what to answer,
We'll be sure to keep you updated on this story as Baylor Nation and Kentucky Nation hold their breath. Reporting from the Foster Pavilion, I'm Shahji Adam. I'm Shahji Adam reporting in your neighborhood of Waco. Women's basketball is becoming one of the most talked about sports in the world, and the WNBA is adding more teams to a growing fan base. The WNBA is getting more popular, and now it's getting bigger. The league announcing the addition of 3 new teams in Detroit, Cleveland, and Philadelphia. Baylor women's basketball head coach and former WNBA head coach Nikki Collin tells me it's a positive development.
Talking about the WNBA expansion, I saw your tweet. You are excited. So what was your reaction to seeing those 3 new teams being added?
Well, I think anytime you see more opportunity for female athletes, it's an exciting time. I think that league started and really even the full circle moment of Cleveland and Detroit coming back, teams that were a part of that original group of 8.
Looking at the impact that the WNBA has had with Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, the big names, do you feel like that's affecting women's college basketball in a big way as well?
I think there's always a trickle-down effect. I certainly think there's always going to be the next Caitlin. I mean, maybe it's Juju, maybe it's Hannah Hidalgo. You're seeing these players really stand out, their game stand out, their personalities stand out, their brand stand out. I think the more eyes, the more opportunity to drive revenue, the more it is going to impact the college game.
So for the team here, what was their reaction? And what's kind of that feeling like, that how much every year it seems like the WNBA is getting bigger and bigger?
Well, I think they get to look up at the wall every day in our practice gym and see the number of players that have been drafted at Baylor. The WNBA is the best women's basketball league in the world, and so more opportunity. That's what Cleveland means. That's what I don't think they care what city it's in. I think they care about the opportunity to put on a WNBA jersey.
Baylor women's basketball season is scheduled to start on November 3rd as the Bears will say bon voyage to the Foster Pavilion and bonjour to Duke in Paris. Reporting in Waco, I'm Shahji Adam. The safety of football players has always been a big talking point. I'm going to share what the NFL is doing and the chances that it has to make its way to our community.
It's a tough game that we play.
Player safety in community sports continues to evolve. The NFL will now allow players to wear guardian caps in regular season games, so I started digging into how high schools feel about the caps.
I think it's a good idea. Obviously with the way this game is and everyone's getting bigger, stronger, and faster, and collisions and impacts are happening, more than they're not.
At the end of the day, I think safety is very, very important. I tell our kids all the time, and I tell their parents that I believe that safety is our #1 priority. We want to make sure that our kids get the proper equipment. If there is knee braces for O-linemen, if there is shoulder harnesses for kids who have shoulder injuries or things like that.
Some schools in our neighborhoods already have guardian caps. Certain positions, like Lake Belton center Brett Harmon, wears them during practices.
I understood why we wore them, to limit the initial contact that we have with our heads. So I was okay with it. I definitely could tell by the lack of airflow that it's going to be a little harder to breathe and stuff, and it's just going to feel a little hotter. But you just get acclimated to that.
Our kids are only freshmen and sophomores, 3 years ago. Right now, that we wanted to make sure as they continue to mature and continue to get physically bigger, that we tried to limit as best we can possible concussions.
While the change is happening, it's not an overnight decision for all local schools. As for some of them, it's not in the budget.
With the cost of a helmet being $400, you think about that price and throw a guardian cap on it, before you know it, it's $600 to outfit one kid, and that's just not in a lot of people's budget. But until they come up with the solution or combining them or whatever it is, I think that the NFL and probably the NCAA will be the only two that are truly dabbling with it.
Well, whether this comes down to the high school level or not, the game of football is evolving in front of our very eyes. Reporting in Temple, I'm Shahji Adam.